about languages, the most interesting thing, yet the most underestimated thing. So, is language a barrier in the professional life? I just want to raise this question. I have seen many times people wandering here and there and they want to learn different languages or mainly focusing English. So is it really a barrier? Well, for initial time period, I guess and I believe, according to my observations in the professional life, I guess English is not at all a barrier. If in case you're working at the initial stage of your career, then you just need to learn about the work, and language is not at all a barrier. And ultimately coming up to the languages, then if you're expert at your work, then there's no one who can stop you just because you're not fluent in English. But it is just like an additional skill. If you get that, it is just like an additional spice in the food that you can add up. So basically speaking, English is a barrier. Although in the initial stages your focus should be on your work, how to be more and more better and how to make yourself better in the work, but ultimately you will have to be fluent in English. There are many cricketers also who didn't even know how to speak properly in English, but when the commentators asked them about used to ask them about their comments, they were not able to speak in front of a lot of people, and this created a kind of inferiority complexion in those cricketers. So I guess English is not at all a barrier. You should be focusing upon your work, but to be more professional, but to be more skillful, you better need to focus upon your fluency in these languages, about international languages, not only about English. Other languages like French, Chinese are also gaining popularity these days. So it is better to focus upon these languages, and if you're focusing upon these languages, then you can look up for a better professional career. Although these languages are nothing, even the call center employees can speak good English. Doesn't matter. You should not feel inferior if in case you cannot speak such a language. But if you are not expert in your work and you cannot speak this language, then there is a trouble. So to be in that trouble, be expert in your work. I have observed in the professional life, many people who are working are not at all working with the proper enthusiasm. They think that if someone knows English, then that person has a social reputation. You do not need to have a social reputation on the basis of your language, on the basis of how you speak, although that is a secondary work that you need to have. But the primary focus shall be, I am again and again saying, shall be your work. In any case, if you are a cricketer, then does not matter whether you speak fluent English or not. However, if you are an English teacher and then also you cannot speak English, then there is a trouble. But if you are an accountant, or if you are a cricketer, or if your field is different from that of a language, then please not at all feel inferior. In any case, I've seen many people who give a lot of respect to those people who can speak English. They think that they are literate. These are kind of social barriers of our country. We do not value the person on the basis of his quality of work. Rather, we value a person on the basis of his appearance, on the basis of how he speaks. How he speaks, I'm not saying if he speaks English. I'm saying, yes, in India, if someone speaks English, then he is valued a lot. But a person who is speaking in Hindi, and even if he is a decent person, even if he has a lot of knowledge, then he will always be undermined by those people in the society of orthodoxes. Although, society of orthodoxes, we know that we live in a society of orthodoxes. But that revolution will take a lot of time. So how to build that change up in ourselves? First of all, it is like focus upon your work, and please not at all value any person on the basis of the language that he is speaking. Value a person on the basis of the work that he is doing. So, ultimate conclusion of this video is focus upon your languages only and only if in case you think that now you are perfect in your work. Otherwise, languages are not at all a barrier, and do not at all feel inferior in case if you are not able to speak English.